Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to make a video talking about the Zara perfume line. This seems to be a very hot topic lately. I wanted to make a video talking about the Zara perfume line because it's kind of known to be a line that takes a lot of inspiration from other fragrances. I don't want to say, it's like a dupe line or something because it's not marketed as that. Since the releases of the Perfumes by Zara, a lot of people have noticed that a lot of the fragrances smell very, very similar to other like designer or niche fragrances. So I actually went out and bought one that I was interested in trying and reviewing for you guys. And then I'm also going to share with you some others because I went and I smelled a bunch of them, and I'm gonna share ones that I think are very close or inspired by very popular, more expensive fragrances, because the Zara fragrance line is pretty affordable. I picked up this bottle for $25.90. You can see there. And this fragrance that I picked up is called Cherry Smoothie. This one is said to smell exactly like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and I was interested to try this. I do like Lost Cherry a lot, but it just doesn't last at all. It's a pretty pricey fragrance it's known to just only last like 2 or 3 hours. Like, it's not long lasting at all. And I already bought my expensive non-long lasting fragrance, and that is Princess by Kilian, but I love that scent. But Tom Ford is even more expensive. I think that it's like $250 or something like that. I'm not sure right off the top of my head, but I have gone into Sephora and I've smelled it. So I'm pretty familiar with Tom Ford Lost Cherry. So wow, this is a much bigger bottle than I thought I was gonna get. The bottle that I sprayed in the store was like half the size of this. So this is the bottle of Cherry Smoothie. And this is a big bottle. This is a 100 ml bottle for only $26. And yeah, basically it smells exactly like it. It's definitely a known dupe for it. Sorry, Zara, if you're listening. I mean, Lost Cherry is known to be like this very dessert-like, boozy cherry scent. It's not like a really bright and like fruity floral kind of scent. It's more of a boozy gourmand scent. And this definitely hits the nail on the head. It smells basically identical. But the biggest thing that I noticed, because like I said, I tested this, I sprayed this on the back of my hand in the store. When I went to go test out and smell some of the fragrances, I sprayed this on the back of my hand, and I'm not gonna lie, that fragrance stayed on my skin until the next morning. Easily 12 hours of wear on my skin. So crazy performance for the first few hours of wearing it. It kind of smells a little overwhelming. I'm not sure how Lost Cherry wears on my skin, but this one, it's almost like a little cough syrupy. I'm not sure if the Tom Ford one is like that, but I guess it's just kind of like that booziness basically mixing with the cherry, because it's a very unusual combination. It's almost like a little overwhelming, like cough syrupy for the first few hours, but then when it dries down, it turns into a really beautiful, nice scent that still projects and has good performance. Like I said, like it was on my skin for a long time, but it just kind of turns into a more subtle scent, which I think is much better. So if you try out these, you definitely need to let dry down for a little bit. So my thoughts on replicas and clones and dupes and things like that is, I know that, in the fragrance community, a lot of people are like, I'm so against dupes and replicas, it's insulting. And there's some people that are like, I will only buy replicas and dupes because they're affordable, and why would you spend hundreds of dollars on a fragrance if you can buy one that's cheaper that smells exactly the same. And my opinion on it is just, I'm kind of like neutral. I am one of those kind of people that I believe that anyone and everyone should be able to make their own decision on things. And I don't judge anyone for any decisions that they make. I just look at it as there's a market for everything. The people that are really passionate about fragrance are gonna spend the money. And then, because I mean, otherwise it's basically just an outlet for people that could never afford it otherwise to have the opportunity to have a fragrance that smells like Lost Cherry or any of these other ones that I'm about to mention. So I think that, there's a place for everything, and it's really just up to personal preference. But me personally, I don't think that I will ever have like a big dupe collection. I do kind of value that originality, and I'm very blessed and lucky to be in a place where I can afford it. I mean, I'm not like, super mega rich or anything like that, but I'm not doing too bad either. So I'm definitely very blessed to be able to afford the nicer things. So I definitely understand, you know, if you decide that you prefer to have replica fragrances or you just can't afford a $250 bottle of a fragrance that only lasts 2 hours. I totally understand you wanting to go in the direction of getting a fragrance like this, and especially when they're so well performing and they're nice. There were a lot that I like actually liked when I went to go smell them. So I'm gonna read you guys a list. There was one that I took a picture of that I really liked. Okay, so they had one that was called Bright Rose, and that one is said to be a replica or dupe of Narciso Rodriguez for her. But personally, to me, when I smelled it, it smelled exactly like the replica fragrance that I had, the Lazy Sunday Morning. I thought that one is a pretty solid dupe for that fragrance as well. And it's amazing because I also sprayed that one on the back of my hand and it lasted so long. Once again, a $25 fragrance. This one, Bright Rose by Zara, lasted hours and hours and hours on my skin versus we all know the replica lines they're all Eau de Toilettes and they don't last very long at all. Like the Lazy Sunday Morning will maybe last 2 or 3 hours max. That one's more like a scent that I like to wear to the gym or just when I want to be really lightly fragrant, but still amazing fragrance. So some other on this list, it is known. There was one that I also smelled while I was there which was called Femme, and that one is a dupe of Dior's Hypnotic Poison. I didn't really get that. I've smelled that. I actually recently bought Libre Intense and I was comparing the two, and I ended up liking Libre a little bit more because the Hypnotic Poison one just had like a weird note to it. It smelled like this like licorice and I just don't really vibe with that. So I decided to go with Libre, and I didn't think that one smelled like it at all, but that's what they say. Some other ones on the list here, they have Cashmere Rose, which I smelled and I really liked. That is a replica of Gucci Flora. There was one, it's called Candy Festival, which is inspired by Louis Vuitton Afternoon Swim. Like I said, the Bright Rose, Narciso Rodriguez for her. And then they have one called Bohemian Oud, which is a dupe replica of the Maison Margiela replica by the fireplace. And then I saw that they had one that was Amber Vanilla, which is supposed to smell like Mugler Alien, and I was like, I'm not even gonna smell that one. I don't know, I don't really like Mugler fragrances that much. They're a little rough for my nose, I think. They have one called Azul Noche, Blue Night, if you hablas Espanol, which is Dior Midnight Poison. There's just a whole bunch of them, so I just wanted to kind of make this video to talk a little bit about it and just let you guys know my thoughts on the cherry smoothie one. It's still, even now after filming this, it's still a little much. It needs to dry down a little more, but these fragrances so far that I've seen are very, very well performing. So, I mean, everyone talks about the Zara fragrances, but if you haven't, it's like one of those things like, if you know, you know. So if you haven't gone and checked them out, next time you're just going clothing shopping or something, to pop in and smell the fragrances and see what you think about them. I think that it's really cool that they came in and kind of made this really awesome line. So that is just my quick little video for today. Cherry Smoothie by Zara. Very similar to Tom Ford Lost Cherry for like 10% of the price. So make sure to check out the Zara fragrances if you are interested in replicas or dupes. I think you guys will definitely like it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.